Everybody, Jason Burmis here. And COVID-1984 has accelerated so rapidly and so in your face. It is hard for me to understand why people are now not out in the streets demanding that their local governments step down, okay? That their governors step down, that they be indicted, arrested, and put in prison for what they have done to the general populace and what they continue to do. And the two glaring examples of this in the states right now are obviously California and New York City in particular. But I'm telling you, the whole state is a mess. And that's why we're broadcasting from Iowa right now. And I left. I couldn't have left a moment too soon. Because you see, Andrew Capo Cuomo has not only now invoked a Homeland Security terror-style threat map, a color-coded threat map. You see, these people don't have original ideas. They keep going back to the well of fear that worked before, and then they just regurgitate it. They just throw it up all over the general public, and the general public just, But there are pockets of resistance, okay? And while he did that, he basically said he was shutting down the New York City synagogues, the Orthodox Jewish community that has pushed back against this madness from the very beginning, and good for them. And they continue to. And until the general public in the United States starts acting like Orthodox New York City Jews and basically giving the middle finger to this establishment nonsense, we are only going to see more and more restrictions, like telling you, hey, you want to go out to eat now? You want to sit down? No, wear your mask. You can take it down when you eat. What? What? Gavin Newsom should be dragged out into the street in a giant blue diaper mask and have hot macaroni and cheese dumped all over his body for that. That's a start, okay? That's a start for that madness. But while this is all happening, guess what? The COVID passports are starting. We're going to show you numbers, and we're going to show you facts, and we're going to show you these people who are basically saying there is no normal anymore. The new normal is our authoritarianism. You will be vaccinated to travel. I'll probably never go to Europe now. You know, I just got my passport right after Bilderberg 2019 because, as we all know, it was canceled this year. Didn't get it in time. But, you know, I had planned to travel. I will never get on a plane again. Forget about across, the ocean. Okay? But if I have to have a passport that says I am vaccinated, I will never fly again within the States or beyond, ever. Guess I'm landlocked. That will never happen. And nobody on the planet has the right to tell me that, by the way. You can't tell me that's a private business. Bullshit. The airlines are private businesses? How many government bailouts have they had? How much involvement with intelligence agencies have they had? Hey, Central Intelligence Agency? Eh? With your drug running and your bullshit? I'm sorry, I don't want to be treated like a child. I don't believe in Santa Claus. And I don't think Andrew Capo Cuomo or any of these punks are trying to save me. So it's time to step up. Folks, what we're about to go over, what you just heard, has now been deemed, I guess, probably harmful content for the last 6+ months. We're fully demonetized here. Burmis Brigade Media Month 16 obviously got a late start this month. Just created it today because I've been on the road, because I've been filling a 26-foot Penske truck, because I drove it across the nation, because I unpacked it, because I put this studio together, because I got 2 nieces upstairs that we just got into school. The one starts tomorrow and the other starts Monday. So there's a lot going on. I still have to go all the way back to New York to get my car because obviously I didn't want to tow that on a 26-foot Penske truck. But all of it was made possible by you guys. Couldn't have done it without you because YouTube won't let me make a living. Forget about the shadow banning, the biased algorithms. I'm not allowed to make $1 over there. Cat videos are, MSNBC is, okay, Fox News is, but I dare to tell the truth and show you numbers and facts. But when, I guess, the facts aren't the facts, that's the thing. So if you can, $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. It's how I do this thing. Remember to check out all the documentary films for free. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade, the motion picture. Please thumbs this up, subscribe, and share. Find an individual video like the one we did today on Claire Bronfman. Guys, by the way, we've had so much problems with the new software that YouTube Studio is making us use. Like I had duplicates, and then I couldn't go in and edit one, and then I went live, and then when you clicked on it, it just went to the last 15 seconds for like 3 hours. We're trying to work the bugs out. We're trying to work the bugs out. But while we're working those bugs out, we're streaming live over on Rockfin as well right now. You create a free account, watch all the free content there. And remember, Rockfin is where we're going to be doing a 2-hour broadcast Monday through Friday live for free. If you tune in live, you can watch it with the free account. Afterwards, it'll be premium. And again, this is another way to support me. All right, let's get it going. Thumbs them up, guys. World's first COVID passport technology will be trialed on flights from Heathrow this week in a bid to let passengers travel without the risk of quarantine in future, but requires authorities to trust test lab results from abroad. Trust test lab results from abroad? Guess what? You have no right to tell me whether I can get on a plane, okay, and travel somewhere for a virus that your own corrupt World Health Organization says has a 99.6% survival rate overall. And when you look at people who are under 50, it just shoots up from there. Shoots up into the stratosphere. And now it's become more and more public knowledge, what we've talked about since March, right? It's become more and more authoritative content that this can be treated by what? Vitamin C, vitamin D treatments, zinc, Zithromax, right? I'm not going to say the HCQ word, right? Oh, that's big and controversial unless you put the Newsweek article up, right? Of the Yale epidemiologist covering it. Then it's okay. But we talked about steroids from the get-go. From the get-go. And what do? Well, no HCQ, but you can have remdesivir. And we're not going to talk about budesonide or other steroids, but we can talk about dextromethasone. So you think about that. A dumb guy in a Star Wars t-shirt in his home office in March was talking about that. A dumb guy sitting right here in a chair just like this one was saying to you, hey, if you get on a vent, you have an 80-90% chance of dropping dead. That wasn't reported on for weeks by the media. So what is this? It was never about treating it. Because we've had much, much, much worse things happen health-wise across the country and across the world. You know, they tell you it's settled science that, you know, we destroyed polio with vaccines. No, we haven't. We've done that video. In fact, oral vaccines are being reported as spreading polio in 2020, not only in Africa, but the Middle East. Go watch the video. Well, Jason, that's harmful content. It's true. It's true. And if we were worried about the health of people in third world nations, what would we do? We put in sanitation systems. We put in running water and electricity. We put in infrastructure. We wouldn't go, boop, a boopity boop, 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 because that ain't helping. Okay? So the capo himself, I want to remind people, you know I don't have a younger audience. My under 24 demographic is something like less than 2%, guys. Just to let you know. And my 18 and below, we're talking it's less than the death rate on the virus. I don't even think it's 0.6%. But if you happen to show this to somebody that didn't live through it, this is the Homeland Security Terror Threat Chart. And you remember it, right? They were popping this off every single minute of every single day. Code orange. High risk of terror attack. So weird. It's so weird that we never had a terrorist attack after that. And it's so weird that when they did arrest terrorists, like the ones in Newburgh, it seemed like they were set up from the very beginning by the FBI, not of just entrapment, but reminiscent of the 93 World Trade Center bombing that actually happened when an paid FBI asset, an Egyptian Army intelligence officer, it was former Egyptian Army intelligence officer, they actually hired him at a hotel, okay? But he was on the payroll, and he was the one that built the bomb that went off. Yeah, the FBI paid for the bomb that went off in 93, and the guy that did it was their informant, and he taped them. He taped them. The tapes are out there. We play excerpts in there. But it doesn't stop you from that color-codedness, right? Color codes. Oh, look at this. What do we have here? It's Andrew Capo Cuomo's red, orange, and yellow color codes. And notice, all those things, worship, mass gathering, businesses, dining, schools, all restrictions. You know what he never mentions? Ever, ever, ever? Protests. Not once will he talk about a protest as a super spreader event. Why? Because the facts aren't the facts. They never have been. This guy is just signing executive orders to eviscerate the state, to gut the middle class, to allow Bloomberg's track trace database force. Okay, call them contact tracers all you want. Now Cuomo's introduced random testing. That's what's new. Now we're just going to randomly test students to have schools open. Announced that yesterday. Keep thinking about it. For something, by the way, that if you look at student-wise, right? Look at this. Out of 70,000 plus positive COVID-19 cases on universities, 3 hospitalizations, 0 deaths. That's 70,000 people. Okay? And I want you to notice right here that it says 1 in Wisconsin, 1 in Illinois, and 1 at San Diego University. Now, if you look down here to Oneonta, where I was living, where now it's down to 703 cases, right? That they've stated. And remember, it was 800 plus, and then they had the duplicates, and they quietly had to say that maybe there were some false positives. And then they said there was 1 hospitalization. And they never retracted it, but they just never updated it either. And I told you there was no hospitalizations. Well, lo and behold, as they cleaned up the numbers, and that's their terminology, they needed to clean up the numbers. Otsego County Health Department, for shame. For shame. For shame. 0. So you're telling me that we're shutting down the country and the world. We're reimagining everything. So Cuomo can not only give it to Bloomberg for the track trace force, but to Bill and Melinda Gates for education. Huh, well, that's great. Let's just give it to Bill and Melinda Gates for education. Great. Love it. And then Eric Schmidt for smart cities. We'll do a press conference where we, Skype them in or Zoom them in, because Zoom was hip then. And we'll talk to Eric Schmidt. Oh, a bunch of businesses moved out? Don't worry, Jeff Bezos will come in. It's going to be great. And this is the reality. And no one wants to touch it. And it's this guy bringing it to you right here. I still watch these. I have to watch them because look at this guy. This guy is the example for what they want for the country and the world. This is the guy that said China did a better job than the United States. He said it. 100%. We played it. What? He said China did a better job. This guy lies through his teeth constantly. Constantly. And now, again, California governor office tells diners to wear masks in between bites. You think this is the Onion. It is not. It is not. The California governor's office put out a tweet on Saturday, when you see this tweet, advising that restaurant goers keep their masks on while dining. Guys, I'm having Whitney Webb on. I was supposed to have her on today. Unfortunately, her internet was down. We're going to have her on tomorrow. We're going to talk about Operation Warp Speed. We're going to talk about all of this. Because if we don't, it's not just this election. It's not getting better either way, whether Trump or Biden wins. I promise you. All right? Now, at the same time, I'm going to have that discussion with Webb, what she thinks. Because obviously, Biden is running on mandatory masks, which means mandatory vaccinations when they get there. But now there's a pushback on these vaccines. You're seeing that everywhere. But just take a look at this. COVID diner tip number 1. Huh? Yeah, minimize the number of times you'll take the mask off. Look at this. On, off, on. What in the actual fuck is happening in 2020? That we have all, oh, it's a cool little cartoon telling me to be a slave. But I can't get the virus when I'm putting food in my mouth. And I think it's airborne. And by the way, at this point, with all the therapeutics and the fact that the death rate is so low and the infection rate is so high, we have to just say no to all of it. All these executive orders should be null and void, and those that put them into place and worked hard to not only aggressively keep them into place, but to expand like Cuomo, jail, 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 jail. Jail, 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 jail. Hey, I saw that the QAnoners got banned again, and I'm not for that. But you want to talk about sealed indictments or Guantanamo Bay? Who deserves it more than the people that are enslaving this country? Huh? Who deserves it more? And this isn't a partisan issue, okay? And this is why, right now, we all need to be more like New York City's Orthodox Jewish community, because they haven't put up with the bullshit at all. They've held funerals, and they should, okay? I've seen some of these funerals now where they have the social distance, and you can't hug your fucking grandma. Are you out of your mind? They are taking our humanity away from us without question. What else is it? They're taking your humanity away. They don't want you to be around your loved ones. They don't want to have you remember and mourn the loss. And we're 6+ months deep. We're almost 7 months deep in this country. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. We're going to play a clip here. We won't be deprived of our rights to observe our religion. Good. 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 And there are fire in the streets. And you know, these protests are the ones they're going to demonize. You know what they don't demonize? The Black Lives Matter protests that are ongoing throughout the state, whether they be in Rochester, whether they be in Brooklyn, whether they be in Buffalo. No, he endorses that. And he'll never say those are super spreader events. Disgusting. With this color-coded bullshit. Oh, please tell me they didn't, when I refreshed, they didn't take away the good stuff. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay.
What safety precautions should people take? Nothing. What do you advise?
Well, nothing, really. I mean, if you want to wear the masks, you can wear the masks. Right.
Yeah, nothing. If you want to wear the mask, you can wear the mask. That's it. There you go. Personal choice. I like this guy.
I have a guy who works in the funeral home with masks. People have died.
Yeah, because it's a paper cloth.
I'm telling you, as you can see from all my videos, I don't wear the masks. If I go into a store, I respect the store. I respect people. And you can do that. You want to stay 6 feet away? Stay 6 feet away.
Wow. If you want to, do it. I'll tell you what. I feel great every time I leave this house right now and I go around the corner to the local convenience store and I see no one wearing a mask. And I feel bad for the workers that are LARPing and kind of wearing masks. But I remember I was up late last night because, again, I'm unpacking. And when I say late, I mean I was up at like 5 in the morning. Went in to go get the coffee. And, you know, she's got it around her chin. And she's smiling. She was super nice and polite to me. It's great. It was almost that human conversation and contact that was so normal all the way back 7+ months ago. Didn't even have to think about it. But then there's that reminder that they want your slavery. They want you to bend the knee. They want you to give your arm up. They want you to have a passport. They want you to be in color-coded fear. They want you to shut your fucking business down. They don't want you to mourn your loved ones. They don't want you to smile at people. They don't want you to drink with your friends and talk about things and say, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. They don't want any of that. Why? You know damn well why.
If somebody asks you to stay away from them, you stay away from them. You respect another person, except if it's Cuomo and de Blasio.
They're not people.
They're not people.
They're not people. Thank you. Is this guy murdering it or what? They're not people. You remember when I played that video of the Irish gentleman saying he wouldn't bend the knee, that we have to stop thinking of these people as human beings? They are foreign entities. They are aliens. They are as close to literal transdimensional demons as possible, because they don't give a flying fuck about you or your loved ones. And I'm sorry we're dropping F-bombs, but this is just, I mean, think about it, guys. You know, I'm going to cut from playing there. Think about it. Right now, there's the very real possibility that there are large portions of the globe that I will never be able to visit just because I refuse to bend the knee and take a shot for something that's unproven, that has no accountability, that nobody is liable for. It's insanity. So, folks, thumbs the videos up, subscribe, share, be more like the Orthodox New York City Jews all across this country and push back, period. This is how we do it. Everything you heard here is probably pretty, harmful content. I don't think they're ever going to review my channel. 6 months later, do you think I'm getting a review? I don't think I'm getting a review. So $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me, guys. Please, please, please consider donating. Big donors couldn't do it without you. Go check out the documentary films, Shade the Motion Picture, Invisible Empire, A New World Order to Find Fabled Enemies, and Loose Change, Final Cut. Thumbs the video ups, subscribe, share. Again, Whitney Webb live tomorrow for an hour. We're going to talk about Operation Warp Speed, everything COVID-1984, and what's going down in the future. Remember, Rockfin, Rockfin, Rockfin. Go create the free account. Okay, you're going to want that free account, because once I go get the car, I come back to Iowa Monday through Friday. I guess we'll say 10 to noon Central, 11 to 1 Eastern. We're going to be live exclusively on Rockfin for free. Everybody can tune in there, and then we're going to cut up segments, and then we're going to put them here on YouTube and make the rest of the video premium. Guys, I hope that you spread this information out. I hope you explain that you do not have to bend the knee, okay, that there are entities that are fighting this. And again, we all need to take example from, the religious communities that are pushing back, because freedom of religion is freedom of speech, okay? The freedom to congregate with other human beings is beyond just the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It is a human universal right, and we must acknowledge that. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.